In this episode of the Orange Nerd Show, we're talking all about the Nintendo Switch 2. We're talking about this new console coming out, and we're going to talk about some of the history that led up to this release. Up next on the Orange Nerd Show, I got Mr. Webba and Mr. Seymour Duck in the house. Welcome aboard, everybody, to another episode of the Orange Nerd Show. Today, we're talking all about the Nintendo Switch and just talk about Nintendo. It's an all Nintendo show. Before we get started, Mr. Webba, welcome back to the program, sir. How you doing, Mr. Webba? Mr. Webba.
Let's go, baby.
Oh, you said it, bro.
Woke up looking for the broccoli.
There you go, Mr. West Coast. There he is. What's going on, Webba?
I'm doing fantastic, OG. Thank you so much for having me on. Me, you, and Seymour, we're going to, have a fun time talking about Nintendo today. I'm really excited.
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking about the West Coast, I don't watch sports at all. I've said it many times. I don't care about sports at all. But I will be watching this year because
woke up looking for the broccoli.
That halftime show, Kendrick Lamar will be performing. So I'll be watching that for sure. Mr. Seymour Duck, welcome back on the show. It's always good to see you, brother. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. Minus these headphones. I don't like it. I bought these new Sony headphones, and they were like $500, but it's just too bassy.
Yeah.
No, I don't like it. But yeah, I'm doing pretty good.
Good. It's good to have you. Where can everybody find you on social media, sir?
Yeah, you can find me on Mr. Duck Social with all my social media links. So X, Blue Sky, Threads, Instagram, all of them. They're all there, even including this channel.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, absolutely. Check out Mr. Seymour Duck on all those platforms and Mr. Webba on the platform, pretty much. Instagram, right, Webba? It's pretty much the one and only.
The one and only. But yeah, and you can find me here also on OG55.
55, which we got some interesting Ebba content coming out very soon. Ebba content. Here we go, everybody. Let's go ahead. We're going to watch this is the Seymour, from what I understand, this is the teaser, correct?
Correct. Yes, for the new console, Nintendo Switch 2.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and watch it. It's only like a minute or almost 2 minutes. Let's watch it, and on the other end of it, we'll discuss it. Here we go. Oh, nice.
Girls are going to love that.
Oh, exactly. The ladies are going to love it. It's interesting, though, about that, because when I was a kid, those like vibrating like controllers and stuff were like gigantic, dude. It's amazing how far they've come with this stuff, because these little controllers are very small, very thin. Dude, I'm telling you, like back in the day, like with like the Sega Genesis or like the Super Nintendo, and they had like these, or the Nintendo 64 with the vibrator. I mean, these things were like, it was wild. Interesting.
I love that the colored buttons look like M&M's.
Like M&M's?
Yeah, looks good. Because Seymour, do you remember back on the Super Nintendo, my friend had this.
Yeah.
I had the
regular ones.
Yeah, the purple ones, but my friend, he had Super Nintendo controllers that the buttons were like blue, green, yellow, and red. And I always liked that, and I always wanted to eat the buttons, dude, because they look like candy.
That's great. That's fantastic. I really like the direction that Nintendo has gone in the last few years. I think it started with the Wii, if I'm not mistaken, where very sleek designs, almost very reminiscent of like Apple products in a way. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah, is that the vibe you're getting too, Seymour, from
Yes.
like the more recent design work?
Yes, but I didn't like and like me and Webba talked about it before in the past, the gimmicks of the Wii.
Yeah.
But the design of it and the games of the when they created it, I think the Wii was what pushed it because they didn't have much graphics, so they had to go in creativity with the game design. And I think that's where Nintendo pushed its boundaries. And ever since then, games like even the newest one, like Super Mario Wonder, it's just like, yeah, Nintendo has that seal of approval where it's quality.
100%. It's a quality company that they demand quality in their products. And like I said, I haven't been a gamer really since back when I was a kid. I mean, in the 80s, I lived on this stuff. I lived on the NES, the 8-bit, I also lived on the Super Nintendo. The Zelda for Super Nintendo was like the shit. I used to love that Zelda game so much. I played the hell out of that one. Because it was like the old school Zelda, but like it had like the polish of like 16-bit. It was just like the perfect balance for me. But like I really I don't even know where I was going with this, but yeah. Anyway.
My armpits are sweaty. I don't know who would ever want to smell them. Hey, Mario.
Wait, hold on. So they really have a smell feature on this thing? And her armpits? Are you kidding? Is this for real?
Let's watch further.
Okay, this is interesting. I'm gonna back it up a little bit because I was like, that kind of blew me away, you guys. I was not expecting this.
Smell-o-vision, bro.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You know it.
It sure is hot out here. My armpits are sweaty. I don't know who would ever want to smell them. Hey, Mario. Want a sniff?
No way, bro.
I bet they smell so bad.
What? Okay, wait, hold on. Is that Seymour? Is that for real? Is that for real? Or
No, it's not real. I'll send you the real video right now.
oh my god, dude! I'm like, they can't be for real on this thing. Okay, that is phenomenal. Absolutely.
OG, bro, you want a sniff, dude?
Oh my god, bro. Oh geez. Okay, here we go.
Oh man,
that's fantastic. Okay.
Yeah,
Seymour, you got me, bro.
The video is only like 2 minutes long, and I'm like, okay, let's extend this a little bit longer for the reaction. And I saw this video, and it was based on the leaks, and it looked really real until that point. And I was like, that's not real.
Not real, but it was worth it. That was really funny. Holy shit, bro! You had me going too. I really thought that was the real trailer for a second.
I was just like, what? No way.
with the her BO of all things too. Wild, absolutely wild. Did you know, Webba? You know that was a joke. That whole thing.
Not until like now.
not until we hit smell-o-vision, right?
Exactly.
Okay, here we go. That's funny, dude.
Bit bigger. I like it.
Yeah. Like even the way they promote this stuff is kind of like Apple. It's good. It's good marketing.
Yeah. I like the stand a lot better than the first one.
I mean, the stand is cool and all, but does it have smell-o-vision? I don't know, bro. I don't know,
No, what I find fascinating is that the video that we watched was had leaked specs, and the stand was exactly the same.
Wow, that's wild. That's wild.
So there might be some truth in that video then, maybe. But we'll have to wait and see. I love the sound effects in this video.
Yeah, me too. This is good. Oh,
Here
that's
though,
dope.
that part,
Yeah, like Tron.
I think they're gonna bring back Mario Paint, and I
Oh,
think
really?
that's gonna be a mouse where you can play Mario Paint.
Oh, interesting. Okay, yeah, because you're right, because they were trailing, running like little mice with like
Yeah,
the bands as like a tail.
Yeah, that's interesting, Seymour. Okay, cool.
Cool. Okay.
Interesting. Okay. Oh, hold on. We're not done yet. One more thing. Oh, Mario Kart. Very cool. 2025.
This year, baby.
There we go. So, fellas, what are your overall thoughts on this? I'll start with you, Seymour.
I believe the Switch was, and it is, the iPhone moment for Nintendo, where they take all their past histories of achievements and mistakes, and now this is their product. And I know some people online I've been seeing is like, oh, this just looks like a Switch Pro, and it just looks like, just bigger. And it's like, yes, but I believe it's their iPhone moment where it's like we don't need to basically change things too much because it was
Right.
very successful.
Right.
When something's working so well, you don't want to you change that. Don't
You don't want to
fix
reinvent
something
the
that's
wheel.
not broke. Yeah.
Exactly.
No,
So
100%.
So this, I think it's perfect. And the one like right at the end, it said that the Nintendo Switch 1 games are going to work flawlessly with the. Well, no, not flawless. Will work as long as they didn't have the Libo where you have to use cardboards. Those don't work on the new console. And then besides that, like that's perfect. So you're gonna get like a seamless integration to the new console, and then you get this better experience. I think because they're gonna use better chip. Unfortunately, they didn't announce it here. There's gonna be another event in April, and there's gonna be an event worldwide where you can actually view it yourself. I signed up for some tickets. It's a lottery ticket, so a lottery raffle. So I might have a chance to win to go to Toronto and experience it.
Nice.
Hopefully. But yeah, I think this is the next point where it's like the iPhone moment. You've done something successful, and now we're getting to the point where we have to get over. And this is it. And I like it. And it looks like we're getting a new Mario Kart when it launches as well.
That's awesome. Okay, now I want to ask you guys because I'm not as much of a gamer. I was though when I was a kid, right? I was talking about it a little bit earlier on the show. When I was a kid, I was all into these games, and I was all about Nintendo. I loved it. But I haven't been a gamer for a real long time. So with the Switch, from my understanding, right, you can play the games on your regular TV at home, or it's portable and you can play it like this when you're out and about.
Yep.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Yep.
Exactly. Now,
So when you say real quick, so Seymour, when you say they took all their Nintendo like lessons through the history, like from their past, is that kind of what you mean? Like they got like home gaming, portable gaming, everything is now incorporated into this one console.
Exactly. They went from Game Boy to DS to 3DS, and then they went from the Nintendo to the Wii, and unfortunately, the massively unsuccessful Wii U. And they fixed their mistakes and went to this. And I think this was the perfect device. And now you have competitors even trying to copy it because it's so successful. But they can't.
Yeah, no, and no one can come close to Nintendo's IPs. I mean, Nintendo has legendary IP. They are the Disney of the video game world. Go ahead, Mr. Webba. I apologize, brother. You were going to say something.
Oh, no, I was going to say, yeah. The great thing, and I think Mr. Seymour Duck could agree with me on this. The Switch, and now the Switch 2, is really like kind of the perfect console or gaming device because because OG, you said it right. This is something that it's basically portable, right? I mean, Nintendo, they had the Game Boy Advance, SP, 3DS, all that stuff, right? But then they've also had their home consoles, NES, Super Nintendo, 64, Wii U, right? But then it's like, okay, how can we take our first party games? Not only can you play them on the TV at home, but you can also play them pretty much at the same quality on the go, right? Now, the limiting factor with the Wii U was, Seymour, correct me if I'm wrong, was that there was like a range factor with it because it still had like the sensor and all that stuff, and the Wii itself still had like that sensor bar. With this, and I brought it to demonstrate, this is the Nintendo Switch.
Does that have smell-o-vision, Eva, or no?
One speed.
There you go.
The C market, bro.
There you go.
But as you can see, right, I can the controls, you take them off.
Nice.
And actually, so this to show, this here is the screen. This here actually, OG, is the console itself. The little dock that we saw that it docked into is just like a little docking station where you can charge your Switch. Oh, OG, I can't hear you.
Oh, sorry. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and remove Seymour and I, because I'm gonna make you big so you can show it better. So here we go.
Oh, okay. So hi guys. So this is the back of the original Nintendo Switch. This is the screen. This here is the actual console of the Nintendo Switch, and then on the sides it has these two Joy-Con controllers, and you can actually take them off or clip them on to the sides of these. You slide them down, and if you take them off, you can actually have like two people playing on once, or you can even take them off and play them like kind of like this on a game as well. So Nintendo is they're a company that's very about quality, but also a company that's very they want to innovate stuff. And clip it on, and you clip it on. There you go. I can take now my Nintendo games, such as Seymour. I think you'll like this. Legend of Zelda.
There we go.
Starlink. This version has the Star Fox characters in it. Luigi's Mansion 3. Super Mario Odyssey. Kirby. Who doesn't love Kirby?
Yeah, come on.
The Legend of Zelda.
I actually have a Kirby mug. This pink mug right here, where my finger is roughly. I'm going here, right here. That's actually a Kirby mug right there with the orange tree popping out.
Oh, yeah. That's awesome.
You can't really see it because that girl's booty's in the way right here, but you could.
Cake, bro, cake.
Yeah, exactly. Cake. Hold on. Here we go. Cake. There we go. Got some anime cake in the way. But go ahead, Eva.
Yeah, and if you want to get a feel, OG, to see how small the chips are.
Oh, wow.
Just don't lick it.
No, don't lick it.
Oh,
Super
wow.
Smash Bros.
Okay. Now, what happens if you lick it? It's like a battery. You get shocked.
Yeah.
No, they put something on there that tastes really bad so that kids don't put it in their mouth.
Yeah. But
that's interesting. Smart, though.
And so the back stand I was talking about, right? So this back stand on this is this little piece here, right here. It's just a little thing. You can set it down, but the newer version is going to have that longer piece in the back to fully support it, which I like a lot more. The screen, of course, on the new one is going to be bigger, which is going to be nice. So imagine playing Legend of Zelda, okay, on a screen that is portable, because this is the actual console itself, not the docking station. That's just to dock your console and to charge it, and then you can even take the Joy-Cons off, and then that little black controller, you stick the Joy-Cons on it, and it's like a regular controller.
Oh, that's sick, dude.
Yeah. So again, the innovation with this, it was really insane and very creative. They were able to do that with, man. So they're tapping into the market of not only a home console market, but also the portable market.
Yeah.
You know, because let's be honest, OG. Sorry. Oh, so let's
No,
be
you're
honest.
good. You're good.
Although like handheld devices have always been really fun, right? They're never gonna be this where you
No.
can take an actual first party Nintendo title and play it on the go. Like, dude, that's insane. Like, that's awesome.
Bro, I would have been, as a kid, I would have been over the moon for something like that. Because when I was a kid, I had Game Boy, but it wasn't like the DS where it was color and stuff. It was that weird gray green, you know what I'm saying? The old school Game Boy.
Yeah.
And for at the time, it was cool, you know, but it was nothing like the games we played at home. This is literally the same game that you play at home, portable.
It is. I see more. Correct me if I'm wrong, but the screen is for the Switch One. Is the screen 720p?
Yes.
Yes, yeah, 720p. So it still looks really good. Like if you have like a 1080p or whatever TV, and you go on and you switch to your to your Switch screen. What's cool about it too is like that it will switch from your TV automatically to your Switch, the screen. Like it's so cool, and it looks pretty much just as good. I mean, I have no complaints. So I'm really excited for the Switch 2 to see what the specs are, and I'll see more. If you could speak to the specs, because we don't know for sure what they're going to be, but I think you were telling me you had an idea of what was talked about that could be in the new Switch 2.
Yeah, and they're gonna utilize AI as well to basically push its performance even further. Where a lot of these other manufacturers like Steam Deck and other PC manufacturers trying to make their own portable console, they don't have the collaborations with the chip manufacturers to do that, and they're going to work with NVIDIA to get a chip. Don't know which chip, but apparently it's as powerful as PS4 Pro or Xbox in between that and the Xbox S, the new one, right? But then it can go further with AI capabilities. But these are all just rumors. There's no specs out, right? And the rumor is they're going to use a 1080p screen. But again, because they're so linked in with the manufacturer, they can get better battery life optimization, unlike anyone else. And because Nintendo makes Nintendo games that are really good, all these third parties are going to come in and be like, okay, we'll work with your platform and make your games with it, just like Apple did with their App Store, right? People are like, we'll make it optimized. And they're going to use the ARM platform, which is really good for battery life and really good for standby, which is, if you ever try an Apple laptop, the new ones, right? Their battery life are amazing. Their power is amazing. But if you go try a PC laptop with Intel or AMD, the battery life is not good. They're not made for portable use, which I think it gives them the edge that Nintendo gets compared to their competitors. And I think, overall, people are just going to like it because it's Nintendo. The games are high quality, right? It's like when you watch a movie or a TV show from Disney, right? They're high quality most of the time. They have their off years, but most of the time it's high quality, and you go, and that's why you watch Disney. Or else, if they didn't have that, there'd just be like every other company, which is like Xbox and PlayStation now. It's happening because they don't really care. Xbox and Microsoft, they don't even care making the console anymore. They just want to play games everywhere you can. And apparently, there's rumors that they're going to put all their games on the new Switch as well.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Wow. It's crazy. Go ahead, Webba.
And I was going to say, OG, I think you asked us about what kind of games we would like to see on it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's funny because I was talking to Seymour about this, and obviously these games here that I just listed, right? All these great, wonderful games. I was telling Seymour like the one IP I would really want to see come back and take the Switch out. My favorite Nintendo console besides the Switch was actually the GameCube. That was a banger console. Yeah, the disc size were small, but the games on that were bangers, man. There was a lot of great games on there. Even games that weren't Nintendo games, like you had 007 Nightfire, Agent Under Fire, and you have some other really cool games like Turok and stuff. But I would like to see F-Zero come back.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah, we haven't seen F-Zero because we have Mario Kart, right? It's a racing game, but I want to see like another like high tech, fast paced racing game come back like F-Zero. And besides Smash Brothers, we haven't seen Captain Falcon in anything else. So the F-Zero was the last F-Zero was it? I think GX Grand Prix was the last game from Nintendo that was on the GameCube that came out, and I'd like to see that come back. But I think they're having a hard time, or the creators having a hard time, Seymour, like thinking of an idea of how to bring it back. But it's like, dude, it's a racing game. Like, what complex story can you really tell? You know, I mean,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, with Nintendo stories, you know, they're not really that complicated. You know, they're kind of, you know, basic, which is fine, you know, but they're always just fun. You know, like with Star Fox, I want to see another good Star Fox game. You know, and I'm sorry to say, you know, I know we have Star Fox, you know, Assault and Star Fox Zero on the Wii U, but I want like my favorite Star Fox game ever was Star Fox 64. Star Fox Adventures was actually a close second. That was really fun, even though it was different, still a lot of fun. But we need another Star Fox game, man, for sure. You know, we need more of the Metroids, more Star Foxes, more F-Zeros, because we have plenty of Mario stuff. You know, I mean, hell, even we have, you know, like bring more Kirby stuff. You know, we have Kirby, bring more Kirby stuff. And I know that we had Yoshi, was it Yoshi Yarn or something, Seymour? We don't bring some more Yoshi games, like a Yoshi Story 2. Do that, you know. You know, like, you know, bring that back.
Now, is Kirby, is that owned by Nintendo, or is that a okay, so that's a Nintendo IP. Okay, that's huge.
Yeah.
So
huge.
you might see an attraction at Universal with Kirby.
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool. Very cool.
Or an attraction, right, guys? Are we talking about Luigi's Mansion?
Yes, please. That would be incredible. Absolutely incredible. You go through the mansion, you got like little flashlights, you know what I'm saying? There's actually an attraction in Tokyo, Disney. Monsters Inc. I think it's called Hide and Go Peek, if I'm not mistaken. And it's you go through the show scenes with like a little flashlight. And it's kind of like Midway Mania or one of those kind of games where like, but you shine your light on things and that's how you get points, I guess. So that kind of idea for like a Luigi's Mansion would be like perfect, dude.
Actually, that is perfect because in the game, the way you have to like vacuum the ghost is you shine your light. I mean, of course, different ghosts have different elements, but you shine your light on them, and then you know you bring and vacuum them up. But yeah, I mean, Nintendo's a very strong brand. You know, it's like I always say it. To me, Nintendo is the Disney of video games.
Totally.
Very strong brand recognition, great quality, you know, great IP list of characters and stories, you know. So I really hope that with Nintendo that yes, it's a Switch 2, and me and Seymour, we saw this video. At first, I was telling Seymour, I was like, there's not a lot of talk about the Switch 2 because it was just this. But I have to retract my statement, you know, so I'm eating crow right now, that the excitement level for the Switch 2, especially it coming out now and this year, has me very excited. Very excited for what kind of games and the technology Nintendo is going to use, because we know Nintendo is a very tech-savvy company. And I'm very curious to see how they're really going to tap into like the third-party market for the games like Grand Theft Auto, Red Dead Redemption, those type of big games. And you know, and really Nintendo needs it, OG, because yes, they have their first party titles, right? Which are great. But if you want to attract other mature audiences to your console, you got to have those other type of titles on there, like Call of Duty or whatnot. Like I said, Red Dead Redemption or whatever. Your console has to be powerful enough to handle those games, and that's my one criticism ever since really the Wii, because when we had GameCube, PS2, and Xbox, when the companies went to the next level, you had GameCube and then the Wii, and then you had PS2 to PS3, which is a big jump, Xbox to Xbox 360, big jump, GameCube and the Wii, it was like, not really, and then they had the motion control crap, which I didn't like. So while I was telling Seymour, my biggest kind of complaint with Nintendo through the Wii U, and now the Switch has always been the underperformance of spec for the hardware that can handle the bigger AAA games.
Now, would you agree, Seymour, with that assessment?
Yes, but I think this new one, when it comes out, it's gonna have a boatload of third party support,
Mm.
including Grand Theft Auto, Call of Duty, even Halo. That's rumored to be showing up on there. Microsoft doesn't really care anymore, so they're just gonna anything that gets them money, they'll just put it on there. And I think if I remember correctly, they signed a 10-year deal when they bought Activision. That we'll put the latest Call of Duty for the next 10 years on the next Nintendo console.
Oh, did they
And
really?
yeah, so
Oh,
PlayStation as well, but they just did that to settle the courts. But Nintendo was the big deal because Nintendo Switch didn't get Call of Duty, and they skipped it. But now Microsoft was like, "You will get that," and
yeah.
now they're going to get that. So definitely Call of Duty is going to be on there unless they want to have any legal issues in court. But yeah, you're going to get Call of Duty. I'm sure the new Doom, the medieval type Doom game that's coming out, I'm sure that's going to be on there. There's going to be a lot more mature games, and because they're going to utilize AI, it's not going to use as much battery life in there for power. And I think you're going to play those mature games on the go, which is what people want. And
Yeah.
unfortunately, for these PC-like portable devices, they're not optimized for portable use. Like I mentioned, they're not using ARM. They're using a chip from either AMD or Intel, and battery life sucks. And you get like 3 hours or less, and then you have to reduce it to less graphics, less screen resolution, and it's like, what's the point then? With
Right.
this, they're going to use AI. They're going to work with the chip manufacturer. They're going to make sure that it scales up. So, like for let's say example, if it's 1080p, they're probably going to model for 720 and then scale up for 1080p. And you're not even going to know any difference because AI is just that good now with the upscaling.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and OG, imagine this too, right? Imagine
Uh,
your daddy, Josh, right? You know,
yeah.
you got the great hair gel, got the suit, you're doing all your Disney executive stuff, traveling everywhere, right? And let's say you love to play video games, but here's the thing though, you're always on the go. What's a perfect device for you?
There it is.
Nintendo Switch, baby. You're like, oh, I'm gonna play my AAA Call of Duty games and Doom and GTA, all that, or Mario. I got it all right here, baby. I got
Yeah.
it all right here in this. I can just be on the plane in my private jet on Disney, just be like, yeah, just playing, dude.
Exactly. On tomorrow,
Which is
tomorrow Force One.
which is
Go ahead,
kind of
Seymour.
Yeah, which is kind of funny though, because when Nintendo announced this console, the first Switch, people thought that it was gonna flop because the Wii U was a failure, and they thought this was gonna be a failure because the casual gamer already have apps on their phone. Why would you want to buy the Nintendo Switch? And then the hardcore gamers is like, well, it's not up to date with the latest graphics. Why do I want to buy it? But
Right.
it did not hurt them. It met in the middle. So you had casual gamers, you had hardcore gamers coming in and playing it. And Nintendo themselves, the quality games is what brought people back in and gave faith to Nintendo. And I think this time around, you're going to get that big. Unfortunately, they didn't get a big third party support the first time because the Wii U flopped and they didn't think this was going to be another success like the Wii. Nope, that's wrong. It's almost the number one sold console, about to beat the PS2. So it's doing pretty good. So I'm thinking like, they're gonna get the third party support and everyone's gonna go in and play it again because it's Nintendo and the quality games, right?
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
well said. Now, the issue with the Wii, from what I understand, from kind of like a layman perspective, was it was gimmicky, right? With the whole like the
It,
movement control stuff. Is
yeah,
that what really did it at
Yeah.
plan?
it was fun at first, but then even the PlayStation and then Xbox tried to copy it with Kinect, and then these weird looking controllers for PlayStation with Sony. But then it got old real fast, and then they tried to change it up with the Wii U, and then a lot of people thought that was an accessory and not an X console. And this time around, you can see Nintendo Switch 2. Nothing to be confused about.
Right.
Yeah.
And to Seymour's point, well, to his point, back to my point about when I first watched this reveal for the Switch 2, the other reason why I was initially unimpressed was because I was like, it looks like the same shit. But thinking obviously about it, it's like, well, no, duh. It was very successful. It works. It's cool. And why fix something that's not broken, right? So I'm like, duh. So I'm eating my words for that as well. But yeah, I mean, here's the thing: the Wii and like again with the Xbox 360 and the whole Kinect garbage, like all the motion like movement games, it was a whole gimmick fad that these game companies had that they were going for, and I did not like it at all. I like here's the thing, OG, I do not want to play my game like this. Okay, I want to get my controller, sit down here and play my game. Okay, or have this on the go. Okay, I don't want to do this stuff.
Yeah,
all right,
I feel you.
so totally gimmicky, and the technology just didn't work for it anyway. This, in my opinion, is not a gimmick. It is a good invention into like future. What would you call it, Seymour? Like future tech and design for a way, because now Nintendo has tapped into two markets: the home game market and the portable gaming market.
All in one. Now, here's the thing: when I was a kid with the Nintendo Entertainment System, the NES, we had the it was like a power pad that you would like if there was like a running game, like a track and field game, you would like run on this pad. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you guys remember that. And then we also had the Power Glove, and it had like all the buttons over here.
Yes, the Power Glove. If you've seen the movie that featured the Power Glove.
Yeah, no, I haven't seen it. No,
the Wizard or something.
Yes.
Yeah, I did see that. That was
that's a movie you must see if you're a video game fan or a Nintendo fan or just nostalgic. That's a movie you must see.
I remember.
I think it featured Ben Savage, if I'm not mistaken.
Was it Ben or Fred? I thought it was Fred Savage.
Oh, Fred. Yeah,
the older
I
one.
think you're right. I think it's Fred.
Yeah.
That was crazy. Wonder Years, yes.
Wonder Years, yep. Yeah, I mean, so Nintendo kind of dipped into some of that gimmicky stuff back in the day, but it wasn't like the Wii, because the Wii, I felt like the Wii was like all in on that stuff. But where like Nintendo Entertainment System was more like, these are extra if you want them, you know?
Right.
So it was like a little different dynamic.
Yeah,
but
and I feel like it's extra if you want it now as well. So if you want those party games with gimmicks, you can buy them.
Yeah, and that's how it should be.
Yeah, see, and here's the, in my opinion, those gimmicky themes should be just like add-ons or optional. They should not be, in my opinion, they should not be built into the console or hardware itself. Like we're programming this as a way that this actually functions. There's no other way to play it. That's why it went on the Wii U for Star Fox Zero. It was pretty much a remake of Star Fox 64.
Mm-hmm.
My problem with though, and Seymour, if you played it, you would know what I'm talking about. I hated the gyro controls they forced into that game. It made playing that game very awkward. So you're playing the game, moving the ship around at the same time. You're like aiming with like the control. It was, I didn't like it. It was awful. So the Switch and the Switch 2, much better. Thank you, Nintendo.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Nintendo, like you were saying, you've been saying Seymour on this channel for a really, really long time. Nintendo's a quality company. Yes, they make mistakes. Every company will make a mistake, right? They took the mistake of the Wii, they learned from it, and they move forward with it. That's how you do it. You know, yes, you're going to make mistakes. Disney makes mistakes too. Oh, they all make mistakes. Even Universal, believe it or not, makes mistakes. You know, they all make mistakes. It's what you learn from that mistake and how you move forward from that mistake that makes all the difference. And Nintendo learned, and they came out with the Switch. Which, Seymour, correct me if I'm wrong, the numbers for the Switch were like insane, right? Wasn't it like the highest selling console Nintendo ever made, if I'm not mistaken?
Yes. I think it is. I think it's the second highest console ever sold at for any console right now.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken, I just gotta check the numbers.
Yeah, check it. I thought for Nintendo it was like the heavyweight champ. I'm very curious. Very, very curious.
Yeah, I think it's, again, like I love that Nintendo's very
so actually it's the third best selling, right under DS and right under PlayStation 2.
If you count all the companies' consoles?
Yeah, so Nintendo Switch is at 146 million, DS is under 154, and then PlayStation 2 is 160. But apparently Sony was trying to do some sketchy things and was like, "Oh yeah, we had sales numbers that we forgot." And
Yeah, okay. Yeah, Sony, whatever. That's crazy.
But
Absolutely crazy.
DS was a massive success for Nintendo.
Yeah, it was.
And right
Yeah.
under that for the Switch is Game Boy and Game Boy Color.
Wow, really?
Yeah, Game Boy was huge, especially when
Yeah.
you could buy Tetris when it came with it.
Yeah. Dude, I'm telling you, man, when I was a kid, I had the Game Boy, I was playing that thing. And then I got the Game Gear. I don't know if you guys are way younger than me, but like the
No.
Game Gear, you remember that?
Yeah, I remember that, but I remember the crappy battery life as well.
Yes. And it was cool because it was in color. It was
Mhm.
Sega. You know, it was
And it was
Sega.
chunky too.
It was chunky. It was thicker than Fog Dog, you know. that thing was
Yeah.
like
It couldn't compete with Game Boy. Game Boy was just so tiny and portable. They had the Game Boy, and then the Game Boy Pocket, and then the Game Boy Color.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, I think it's your time to shine, bro, with the Switch too, man. It comes out
Yeah.
this year, baby. You better get it.
Hey, maybe I will. Maybe I will.
And then we can do some gameplay on OG55.
Exactly, dude. I would love that. Yeah, I mean, I have that Nintendo DNA in me because I grew up with it. Like it was a huge part of my childhood. Except a funny story. I was actually at a buddy's house. We were at a buddy's house, and we were just playing Nintendo, and the parents went out to dinner or something, and him and I were playing, and we called the Nintendo hotline. Back then, there was a Nintendo hotline. And we didn't know though, like every time you call, you get charged for it.
Oh, no.
Like it wasn't like free, like you paid for it. You know, we ended up getting in trouble. We kept calling and like his mom got so mad. It was funny, but yeah, those are the days, man. Nintendo hotline, Nintendo Power magazine.
Yeah, I remember that. Yes.
Yep, I had those. Yep.
Crazy, absolutely crazy. Now, before we go, so because of the Switch, how it has that portability along with, you know, the at-home stuff, Nintendo is not making any portable, like they don't do like a DS or a Game Boy anymore, like nothing like that. It's just the Switch, right?
Correct. Yeah, they basically merged the two platforms into one.
Makes sense. Smart. It's brilliant. Actually, it's really brilliant.
Yeah, and that's why I emphasize. I think this is the iPhone moment, and the Switch 2 is going to be basically the iPhone 3G and 3GS, where everyone's now understanding what the game console is and what it does. And now we're just going to get a plethora of good quality games, especially because you mentioned, Webba, that we need more games from Nintendo. And I think that's because there was supposed to be a Switch Pro, but then COVID happened, and then delays with manufacturing happened, and then Nintendo decided to not release the Switch Pro. They just like, okay, we'll get the Switch 2 a little bit earlier than usual. And then that's what I think has happened. So they're saving those games, and that's why we got a lot of like odd releases at the end of even last year, where it's like remake of Super Mario RPG, a Peach game, a remake again of Donkey Kong. A lot of remakes, essentially. Super Mario Wonder was really good. I like that. That was really creative, but it felt like they just kept remastering and releasing games over and over again. Of what. Especially Donkey Kong, which I think was released like over five times of the same game. But they're very successful. Even like we were waiting for a new 3D Mario game, and it's been like 8 years, and now we're finally gonna get one new one, and I'm sure it's gonna come out for the Switch. Even Metro Prime 4 is gonna come out for the Switch. Too. We've been waiting for that for many years, and I think it's because they were even Tears of the Kingdom, right? It kept getting delayed and delayed, and the rumors were that it was supposed to come out for the Switch Pro, but then it never did. So they're like, okay, we're just going to release it then. And then there's even rumors of that being remastered into. Apparently, this new Switch 2 might be 4K with AI, and there's rumors that they're going to use AI to upscale it and it'd be better, and they're going to remaster it again. So if you already own the original one, you're going to get a better version.
Nice.
So Seymour, I actually want to ask you about this because you mentioned the Switch Pro. Now, as someone who likes to play video games, right? This whole notion of the Pro version of these consoles, whether it's Nintendo, Sony, Microsoft, it bugs the crap out of me, dude. Like, I don't like this like intermediate upgrade of a console. Just give me the next version of the console. I don't like that. I buy a new console, and then like 5 years later, you come out with a better version of it, basically.
That's the Apple method, I think. But go ahead, Seymour.
Yeah, well, I mean, like we're getting to the point where graphics capabilities is almost extended. So it's like, why are we even getting pros?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So
You're just
exactly.
gonna get a small update.
Right. So I would rather you come out, and that's the thing though with the consoles, is that I would rather the initial console you come out with be already pretty powerful, because then you won't really, in my opinion at least, you wouldn't feel the need to upgrade to a pro version. You should just come out with that pro version in the first place. You know what I mean? Like if you already come out with the specs what that pro was going to be, there would be no need for the pro. So
Right.
it's like, well, then if I get the pro console in like the 5 years, well, just like maybe 3 years later, you're gonna come out with a new console anyway. So why would I buy the pro? If I already bought the initial console, why am I gonna spend more money to buy the pro and then spend more money again, like in a couple of years, to buy the new version?
People do. That's probably why that's how you double dip. As a company, that's how you double dip. And I agree with you. As a consumer, it doesn't seem worth it to me, but they're making hand over fist doing it that way, you know?
Yeah, they are. But anyways, I just wanted to throw it out there. Like that just bugs me. So yeah.
I do have a sound effect for our bank account after we buy the pro, though. There we go. But actually, you know what? Before we head out today, guys, this was absolutely fantastic. Let's go ahead one more time with the smell-o-vision. Let's check this out. Here we go.
It sure is hot out here. My armpits are sweaty. I don't know who would ever want to smell them. Hey Mario, want a sniff?
I
bet they smell so bad.
I love how they add like the stubble and everything. It's so horrible. This is fantastic. Oh my god.
It smells like salt water, baby.
Yeah, exactly. Unbelievable. Oh my god, I bet it's so bad. Love it. Seymour, you are hilarious, brother. You are absolutely hilarious. Seymour, we'll start with you. Where can everybody at home find you on social media, sir?
Yeah, you can just simply go on mrduck.social and find all my social media links to X, OG55 YouTube channel, even though you're watching it right now.
Yeah.
Blue Sky, Instagram, Threads, it's all there.
There we go. Mr. Seymour Duck and Mr. Webba. Where can everybody find you on social media, Mr. Webba?
Absolutely. You can find me on Twitter, which I'm not that active, but I'm on there. Twitter, Mr. Webba at Webslinger760. I'm also on Threads and Instagram, which is at Cobweb91. And then you can also find me here on Orange Grove 55.
There we go. We have Seymour. He's a Canadian. We also have the Queen, the Asian Queen with 3 E's on Instagram. Check her out. Here she goes right now.
Thank you for watching OG55. If you aren't already, consider becoming a member today.